key to success. We haven't told up in 10. Yeah, each one have to teach one. Must bomb be something one. We haven't told us. Each one got to teach one. Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
You look at your baby and you see this perfect little human.
I told my mother that I am deaf.
And I just burst out crying.
Thinking to myself, was she gonna hate me or what?
What did I do? Where did I go wrong? Is it because I fell pregnant and I'm not married?
Hello, I'm Khalil Osiris. Welcome to Each One Teach One. Tashrika Khan's courage in the face of ignorance and prejudice is an example for all of us. Her total hearing loss at 3 months could have seen her and her family simply accepting the diagnosis and making no attempt to keep her in the social mainstream. That would have been an unfortunate self-imposed limitation, because as it turns out, Tashrika is a crusader working steadily to break down the stigma deaf people face every day.
Hello, my name is Tashrika. My name is Tashi.
I'm deaf, but I'm not incompetent.
I was born in Cape Town in 1995. My mother was a single parent to me.
It was a joy being pregnant. I had a normal pregnancy, no cravings, no funny business or whatever, up until I went into labor. I've been in labor since the Wednesday morning. Tashrika was only born on the Saturday afternoon at 5:20. But like any mom, you look at your baby and you see this perfect little human. You don't expect nothing wrong with him.
My mother told me I was a healthy baby. After 3 months later, my mother see there's something wrong with me because I was too warm and I had fever.
A terrible fever. We gave just about all the old age remedies, you know, you and your mom, so you need to do what mom tells you. We did just about everything and we couldn't break the fever. And then around about 9 the night, I said to I started crying. I said something isn't right because she's starting to, like she's going in convulsions and fits and things came from her mouth, and we rushed her to Red Cross Hospital. Doctors did some tests. First they said no, maybe it's the formula that we fed her. It's not agreeing with her. 2 days later, doctors came back. They said she's got meningitis.
After the test, I told my mother that I am deaf. Plus, I told the mother that I will never hear or speak again.
At that moment, I was sitting in the doctor's room, breaking down. What did I do? Where did I go wrong? Is it because I fell pregnant and I'm not married? I felt like I failed her. I felt I failed myself, I failed my daughter. My father came to me and he said to me, you know what? There's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is support your child. My family time with Tashrika was Saturdays or Sundays. So I developed this routine where we would go twice a month, we would go out for the day.
At the age of 4, she took me to the fish aquarium. The first thing that I saw was goldfish. And I said to my mother, "Ma, fish."
And I just burst out crying. People must have thought that this woman is really crazy. She's crying for something like that, but that was the first word. Every sound that she would make was music to my ears.
From there, I don't say anything, but I only say 3 words. It's fish, Opa, and Ma. That's the only 3 words. when I was growing, do I understand deaf? No, because I was looking around the children playing and hearing too, but I kept quiet. And I have a hearing aid on, but I can hear, but it's too much noise. Normally I play alone, or I play with my cousin, and he normally picks my head up, and he say, "Mokabai," or he would say 3 and something. I say back to him and think. But with the normal children, I just have to look. For me, I wish I was hearing and I can hear.
I was in a situation where I had my friends and my family as support, but I didn't have any information about deaf people. Before Tashirka was deaf, there was no such thing as deaf in my world. And then I took her for some tests again to Red Cross Hospital, and that's when somebody offered to, this lady just came up to me and she said, "Is your daughter deaf?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "My son is deaf." And she said, "Come, tomorrow morning you meet me at Red Cross. I'm going to take you somewhere." And that woman opened the world to me. She took me to the Deaf Development Center. That's where I learned what deaf is all about.
I was a mother child, first child. So she left her work and focused on me. She take me to the beach, to the bath, to wherever in Several in Cape Town.
The first time that Tashirka actually wasn't with me was when she started grade 1. She went to boarding school. And for me to cut off from her, basically to cut myself from her, was huge. Being a single mom for me was like, I need to protect her. She can't hear, I need to be there. What if there comes a car or somebody comes from behind? And the Monday morning she boarded the bus. And I'm standing there thinking, oh God, please protect my baby. Please see to that she's safe. What if somebody goes into her room? She won't be able to hear that person. As she's taking a bag, walking to her room, I'm crying and she turns around, she says, "Don't cry, I'm not going away, I'm just going to school." And I've learned that I need to let go when she was in grade 1.
Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
Tashrika Khan never accepted her deafness or the preconceived ideas of the boundaries it could impose on her life as a disability or limitation of her achievement and self-expression. This remarkable young woman has unfailingly placed herself at the heart of the hearing world, chipping away at misconceptions and well-meaning prejudices that deaf people face in every sphere of communal life.
From the small, as well as a deaf school and creche within me, I feel better because it's like too much deaf, but they know library and too much very and coffee. So it was better to sprint around in order that we play, we work like a team. At the age of 6 up to 9 years old, and then we move up to sober. I've been home for 3 months later, and then my mom told me there's a deaf school for me. I thought it was only library, and I got excited. And when I go to school, by the gate, there was a children's sign. I just grabbed my mom. I don't want to go to school because they are signs, because I don't understand signs. And my mom said, "You have to go." I was sitting in the corner in the class because the children were bullying me. They think I'm hearing, but I'm deaf.
There were times that she used to come home and then the nose would be bleeding or the head would be open or something. But she wouldn't tell me what happened because she knows I'm going to shelter. You need to stand up for yourself, because if I'm going to do it for you every time, then you're never going to learn to be independent. And it was things that people looked down on me too. They used to tell me, yeah, you're treating your daughter like she's normal. I said, but she is normal.
I didn't talk to my family. I just kept quiet. My family would always ask how was school. And I silently back. It was okay. And the mom was like, you don't understand. You don't want to talk nothing. What do you want to be? I want to go back to Cape Town school. The next morning, my mom said, it's time to go to school. She opened the door. She couldn't find me. I locked myself in the cupboard. And I was sitting there. As well, my mom and my auntie were talking that you have to go to school. And from there, we go to school. My uncle had to speak to my teacher to explain. So the teacher gave me timetable and book to learn English. And from there, the age of grade 4, age was 10 years old, and up to grade 10. And I take into another secondary school, nearly school like a normal school. At a normal school, I tried my best because there is no other deaf school. Because my mother is a single parent, plus she wasn't working that time. So I had to go into another secondary school. It was very difficult for me because when I entered that school, I didn't have friends but allowed this. Like normally when we finish at 3, I have to take an extra class, 4 or 5, then I take in the class. Because teachers are pushing me. Then teachers say they know that I can do it. After this, they never did. And then the principal didn't want to take me in for more. Because I have to take an extra class and all that thing. And teachers don't have time. So I've been home for a year. And from there, I went to Egypt to do my music and everything. My behavior was well, everything. From there, the principal asked if you want to study. And I said yes. They only have IT. And I said I would take it. But I do IT last year September, and I finished last week IT. I thought I'm going to level 4 IT. Last year 2015, I was on Facebook and I saw the deaf as a page. I was surprised because I have this model. My sister was next to me here, and I told her I want to enter to model. And my sister said, go for it.
MDSA was established in the year 2000. This year, 2016, we're celebrating 16th anniversary. The reason for the existence was to give platform to our community who's deaf and also the hearing impaired, and to give them an opportunity to celebrate and enhance their beauty into the pageants. The first time I met Tashrika and her mom was when they actually came to us seeking for assistance with regards to the pageant side, since I'm involved in the pageant side of things. And I took this opportunity to say, no, let me assist because of the eagerness, the mother's involvement in the whole pageant, and Tashrika's commitment towards what she wants to achieve.
But our concern was, what if she doesn't make it? Is she going to flop? Is it going to break her self-esteem because she didn't make it to the top 12? Or what if she does make it to the top 12 but she doesn't win the competition? You know, things like that. She made it to the top 5, she came 4th. She never went further than that.
That year I said to my mom, we're going to work hard. She said, are you sure? I said, yes, because that is my dream. So I entered it again. My relationship with my mother, she's like a best friend. She's my mother. She's my everything. I want to say thank to her because she accepted me. being deaf to her, to my mother, because thinking to myself, was she gonna hate me or what? But she loved me. She pushed me to finish my music in my school. She told me, you have to go to college because I'm doing like what the other children doing, staying home, don't work and everything because they are deaf. I said to myself, I can do it. Let me try to go to college just for 1 year.
I incorporated it into her so that she can do things for herself, not to feel that she's a handicap, because she's not. She's hard of hearing, that's it. Further on, she's normal.
Because when I was small, I said to my mom, I want to be a teacher. My dream came true.
P. And then G. Q.
I want to study ID. My dream came true. I want to be your mother, and I actually made it. Now I should say thank to my mother, and I love her.
Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
When we talk about being hearing impaired, there's a whole continuum of what that means and what it looks like. And to assume that it means someone who cannot speak is absolutely wrong. We do not want this show to communicate that same stereotype. So, Tashrika, understanding the dynamics of coming from Cape Town, coming to Joburg, what for you was the greatest challenge?
It's because in Cape Town there are family around me and friends. But friends are not deaf, they are normal. But I'm only deaf. While we were in Joburg, most of my family in Cape Town, which means I have to be with deaf people. I'm actually forget about it, because normally when I come, I'm always talk. Because at home, I'm talking, at school, I'm saying.
The kind of two main ways of understanding people when one is hearing impaired is to read lips and to sign.
Yes.
Insha, how for you was it possible to even begin to think about navigating?
I would say it was a huge challenge because I wasn't aware of the deaf before I found out about the Shrika. So like it was for her a challenge, it was a challenge for me, but not just for me, for my community, for my family.
I understand you have a campaign to make signing a 12th language. You have a campaign around the 12th language?
There are different prophets here, but it's only 3 prophets in marching. It's Cape Town, Johannesburg and Eastern Cape. 3 of them. Because, but mostly in Gauteng and Cape Town are more deaf, but they are young. Then I'm marching because it's not fair. You people, normal people, speak English, we can talk, but you know what I don't like? When they say, talk to me and stuff, okay, you want to learn sign language, but why are you forcing us to talk? We want to teach you people sign language. There are a lot of people that want to learn sign language, but they're too shy and they're too scared to do it.
This is not just about the deaf community, it is about the world out there that needs to see deaf people as being normal, that needs to know that sign language is not just a way of communicating, it's a way of living.
You know, it's so interesting that you would say this because in our work with young people around how do we change behavior, how do we improve behavior, one of the things that we say is the only universal language, it's called body language. So signing is a metaphor for body language.
Exactly.
For me, your story is one of the epic stories that we've done with Each One Teach One. What would you say to a young person that's watching this show today?
I would like to say I'm with Dave and younger, but those children who are small and the parents must push them away and must leave them alone, pull them, watch TV, watch news, and take them out, take a day away in this month. Then go to all the fun days, everything there. I don't want the parents to push them down. They must be up. I want Dave and Yeri to be equal. They must be so or so. They must be equal. For the deaf people, you can do what you can do. You can be a lawyer. You can be a social worker. You can be a teacher. You can do differently.
I know as a father that to give birth to a child, a daughter or a son who's hearing impaired, I really wouldn't even know where to begin, because we take so many things for granted.
Exactly.
You had to begin. What would you say to the parent?
God won't give you a challenge knowing that you can't handle it. This was hard for me. I'm not going to lie, it was very difficult for me. Tashika has taught me a lot of things in life. The most important lesson Tashika has taught me was to be strong and to believe.
It's so powerful. I mean, there's a wonderful passage. In fact, it's one of my favorite in the Quran. It says, "Verily, with every difficulty there is relief." When we say hearing impaired, we're talking about people who are in many ways as normal as you and I. This is not about someone who can't do what we do. This is about someone who has different ways of doing what we do. Close to 5% of South Africans are deaf or hard of hearing. And despite Tasrika and others like her breaking down the stigma, 75% will remain unemployed and excluded from the hearing world. This will only change when we recognize there is no greater disability in a society than the inability to see a person as more. After all, it's our choices far more than our abilities that show us what we truly are. I'm Khalil Osiris, and until we meet again, this is Each One Teach One. Stay in the light.